Hey guys, it's Ninja Bubble 100 here, and today I'm going to be doing a review on this kind of first half of this month's Game for Gold. Now, as you can probably already tell by the screen that's kind of in front of you right now, it is in fact Tomb Raider, and it's not like the old Tomb Raider, like the 2008 one, not like 1999 one or anything like that. It is the latest 2014 one, which, let me just say, it's got pretty good graphics for a free game. So I'm going to be talking about 4 different things, and maybe go quite into depth in some of these things, which is the campaign, the multiplayer, the quality of like how good the graphics are, things like that, and the plot, and also whether it is worth it. So let's begin. So the story begins that the young Lara Croft is aboard a huge ship, the Endurance, when suddenly huge waves start battering the side of the ship while they are on their mission to find the lost island of Yamatai. She then attempts a large jump in which she ends up falling into the ocean and is then washed up upon a beach on a mysterious island where she finds these crazy people and people that are utterly weird, and you basically end up scaling through the environment, just trying to regroup with all the people that were on the boat, and you're a kind of like archaeologist group. Furthermore, the campaign is also riddled to the teeth with things that you can find in, well, lots of other popular and well-known games. For example, ever heard of Far Cry 4 or Far Cry? Well, it's the same sort of deal with Lara Croft or Tomb Raider. These similarities include skill points, which you gain by kind of like gaining XP, which is experience if you do not already know, from basically just killing things, just hunting, things like that, and collecting and finding things. And you can also find masks, which are kind of like collectibles in chests and things like that on surfaces. And you can also scavenge for weapons as well to kind of advance. However, it's not completely like entirely the same as Far Cry 4 Dead Island. It isn't an open world game where you can just wander around and just find things like that. It's the single player is directed exactly at the single player campaign. It's not like you can wander everywhere and explore all these places. It's very kind of directed on this one objective. And now on to the multiplayer. As you can see behind me, or on the screen, you can select which character you want to play as that you have unlocked through the campaign. Now, this feature is actually surprisingly similar to the beginning of the Dead Island campaign, where you can choose which character you want to play as, and coincidence? I think not. And once you've chosen your character, you of course want to, equip the best top-notch weapon you can. Now, there are 2 sides on this. There's the people who lived on the island before, or you're the people surviving and fighting to stay alive on the island due to like the crashed boat and the shipwrecked boat, I should say. And as you can probably see, these 2 sides are surprisingly similar to the Rakshasa, I think they're called, and the the army in Far Cry 4 multiplayer. And I've got a feeling someone's copying someone else, but of course you're probably wondering and saying right now and shouting at the screen, well, Far Cry 4 was released after this game. Well, I think we've got that little case of someone copying the other. I mean, it's not the original thing that we saw before, but that's just a theory, a game theory. Now hopping over to the multiplayer lobby. Now, I did manage to find a match pretty quickly into actually searching it, and it wasn't too long before I was in a game and ready to, do my thing and kill people. And actually, when playing it, there are some good points, but then there are also some bad points. So one of the bad points is that when shooting, it can kind of feel quite robust. When actually firing, it just seems that you've got like no control whatsoever. Of course, you can get some perks, which are similar to the perks in Call of Duty, but obviously slightly different with the own Tomb Raider twist. And and there's also zip wires and things like that to go down into these smaller maps. The maps are pretty small; they are pretty tiny. So, and there's not much strategy in it, that you'd expect, and much puzzlement, if that's a word. And it was just kind of just like one straight up thing. There wasn't much room for expandment, not really much flexibility, just a bit like like Sniper Elite multiplayer. It was kind of like that, and you didn't quite feel like I had much control. It was a bit difficult, and it was also predictable. It was the same thing that happening again and again. You know, the shotguns cropped up quite often, which was kind of annoying and frustrating, but I did obviously manage to deal with it after I died. And after that, I kind of thought and kind of racked my brains and thought, well, what are the good points? And to be honest, I didn't really find many good points. It just felt like it was kind of just repeating itself, and it didn't really feel like there was much happening. It did feel a bit boring at times, and it just didn't really work for me. I'm sure there were lots of people, like the people that I was playing with at the time, I'm sure they enjoyed it or were enjoying it. But to be honest, for me, it wasn't really, I just didn't really find it fun. So with this game, I think the single player campaign is really good, but the multiplayer is a bit of a rip-off in a way. Like, it's very similar to the Far Cry 4 multiplayer in the respect that it's got the same kind of similar classes. It's got similar kind of like themed maps with like these huge kind of like temple buildings. It's got these two classes which are really similar. It's got a similar sort of like death scene, like it's kind of like third person and things like that, and it's got similar weapons. So to be honest, I don't really think it's original. I think it's just in a way just a repeat of a game that came later on. And now on to quality of both the graphics and the kind of gameplay and quality of the gameplay. So with the campaign, the actual visual quality is actually extremely high, and which is made better by the fact that this game is free for 16 days, which is absolutely amazing value and definitely worth it to me. However, with the with the multiplayer aspect, guys, I'm kind of torn between it. Like, I don't really see much of a value in the multiplayer aspect. I think this game's more made for the campaign aspect, and I think the developers of this game have tried making a game that's kind of, to be honest, to me, intended more for a really fun and adventurous campaign, and they've turned it into kind of like a really good campaign with kind of just nibbly bits on the side that aren't really worth anything to me. So I think in future, personally, this is just word of improvement for maybe next time. Maybe just leave out the multiplayer. It's not a big deal. And if you're going to do a multiplayer, make it good and make it worth it, because to me, it's not worth it. And now on to whether it's worth it. I've already kind of touched on this just now, but I definitely believe this game to be, well, worth it. It is absolutely amazing, despite the rather worthless multiplayer to me anyway. I think this campaign to be just the reason why you would get this game. There's not much value in the multiplayer, but with the campaign, the graphics are top notch, especially for a free game. Furthermore, if you're used to the kind of adventurous and puzzle kind of genre that is kind of Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, I'm sure you'll appreciate playing this newer game and seeing how far the graphics have come since those rather terrible, they're just like triangular heads and like prism legs and things like that. Like, seriously, it's come quite far since the PS1 and things like that. So I'm sure this game is definitely for you. And also, if you're into the kind of puzzle and adventure and action genre, I'm sure this game is definitely worth your while. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video, and as always, if you have any quick questions on this game that you would like to kind of hear about before you go and download this game, feel free to say so in the comment section below, because I'm always here to answer, and I'm happy to answer, and I kind of try to stay updated on it. And yeah, thanks so much for watching the video, and it would be appreciated if you would leave a like and maybe subscribe if you like what I'm doing at the moment, because it shows your support and it's absolutely awesome. So yeah, thanks so much for watching this video, and Ninja Bubble 100 out.